What have I done? I've got a disease. No. What we've got here, this is not a fixer-upper. I bought this for parts. I do have a title on it, so I mean it could be put on the road, but it's pretty far gone. It's somebody used the fenders in the hood. These fenders and hood are junk. It's got a lot of Bondo in here. It's like it definitely took a front end hit. This fender over here may be okay. I guess it's okay. Well, no. I mean, you could repair it, but it's pretty much junk. They're just sitting on there. And that hood, of course, you can see is just junk. So definitely needs front end parts. The motor, the guy told me it's blown. I asked him what happened, and he said too many oil leaks. So I guess they ran it out of oil. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it threw a rod, if it seized, what. I haven't checked into it. The headlight buckets, I think both of them are in the car. I picked this thing up. It's really the first time I've seen it in daylight. But I picked it up at night. And of course I had seen pictures of it online, but loaded it up. I've kind of looked through it just a little bit. There's quite a few parts inside of it and in the trunk. I've got the tail lights. I want to see what some of the tires are pretty decent. I want to see what I'll have to look on the back side of them and see what the date code is on them. It's got a almost brand new Michelin spare that has a 2012 date code. So we could probably get some use out of that one, depending on what the date is on these. You know, if they're newer, we might go ahead and throw that spare on mine. I've got one tire that needs to be replaced, and you know, I've just bought 2 brand new tires for it. So you know, I wouldn't have had to do that, but I paid $23, I think. I got them on sale, so you know, really for like 46 bucks, and I mounted and balanced it myself. I got 2 tires. I've only mounted one of them, so we'll probably go ahead and throw one of these tires on the car, at least one of these. It's got these chrome plated or whatever rims that are in really sad shape. I need one rim. My spare has curb damage where it broke a chunk off and it's got a crack in it, so it's no good. We've got one rim here that is not chrome plated, so we will go ahead, and this one's a really nice, this is probably the spare. This is a really nice rim. Probably go ahead and use that one. And then the spare that's in there is on one of these rims. We could always use one of these as a spare, but we now have 5 good rims, so probably just use that one. But yeah, it's like I said, it's I got this window rolled down because there's no clearance. I was able to to be able to steer it, loading it on. We left the window down so we could get in there, steer it. The driver's side window wouldn't come down. The upholstery is pretty much shot in it. You can see that driver's seat is really bad, and the passenger seat's pretty bad too. So really no good upholstery in it. There's quite a few new parts in it. Well, we'll save that. We'll go through that later. Anyway, yeah, so the parts I immediately need off this, I need to get the drive shaft off of it. The center U-joint on mine is bad. I got a new U-joint, but I think just for time's sake and getting mine back on the road quickly, we're just going to pull this drive shaft. The U-joints are staked in, and you got to make sure you get them perfectly centered. So it's going to take me a little time to swap the U-joint. So we're going to pull this one out, put it in the other car, and then, unless this one's just really bad, but as long as this one's good, we'll put the new one in, put my drive shaft, store it with the new U-joint, and I can replace that, you know, when I've got some more time. So that was what I immediately needed off of this. This thing, like I said, it's got the motor still in it. They pulled the, they started to pull the injection pump. They pulled the injector lines off of it, but it's still got the injection pump and the injectors in it. I haven't seen the injector lines in the car, but you know, I don't really need them, but it is nice to have a spare injection pump. They pulled the turbo, intake manifold, and exhaust manifold off of it. So that's gone, but I just rebuilt my turbo, so in good shape there. The color looks the same. This is an 84, but I think, judging by the paint code, it is not. Like I said, it's similar, but not the same. Mine's a little darker, I think. This has got 4 nice doors on it that are dent free. Mine, I think all 4 doors are pretty dented up, so we're gonna put these doors on mine. I'll probably wait to do that until I'm ready to paint mine. Then I'll just paint these doors, paint my car, put these doors on. Also hoping to get some good vacuum pods out of the AC and, you know, get mine all working. There's just a lot of parts on here that I can use, and I paid less than I paid less for this car than I spent on my couple trips to the junkyard for parts on the other one, and I could have gotten all those parts off of this one. So, you know, it's the way it goes, though. You know, I could not find a good parts car when I needed parts. So now that I've got a good parts car, I don't need as many parts, but, you know, anyway. Rust wise, it looks decent. It's got some rust in the trunk. It's got rust back here. I would say mine's more rust free than this one. Mine's got a little bit of rust on the driver's side, but I don't know what the floors look like in this one. Mine, you know, got rust in the floors, but that's no problem to fix. This one's got rust in the floor too. You can see it. So it's probably about the same as mine. Yeah, it's got, you can see it's blown out right here. I'd say it's rustier than mine. Yeah. So, like I said, it will provide a lot of good parts, but, you know, with it having no a bad engine and, you know, bad front end and trashed interior. The dash is all cracked up. Mine definitely has a better interior. The back seat on this one is gone, and I have a perfect back seat. You can see that it is just split completely. So it'll provide some good parts and you know, go on and live its life as pieces on mine, which is a good running, driving car now. I think it showed it had 369,000 miles on it. I don't know if that's correct. You know, the odometers are bad about on these things about going and quitting, so it may have more than that, but at least has 369,000 on it. So I guess next video you'll see is me unloading this, and then we'll do a video of pulling the drive shaft. We'll also kind of go through and see what kind of goodies we can find in here and what kind of parts we've got, what's been taken off of it and what's left, and we'll hopefully have a good part stash. One quick addition, I'll put a picture right here. I pulled this with the C10 because the Suburban is still there. Yeah, I know. I need to get busy on it. You know, life happens and things happen, and yeah, when you have a long commute for work, I drive over 70 miles a day, and you work 5 days a week, and you've got 4 kids, you know, life happens. And so Suburban's kind of put on the back burner, you know, me driving all that, and that's I gotta have a good vehicle for work. And you know, I've been driving the C10. It gets about 10 miles per gallon, so kind of I quickly got the Mercedes going so I could drive it. And you know, so I kind of put all that in front of getting the Suburban done, just because while the Suburban's down, there's stuff I want to do to it. You know, I'm going to pull the oil pan and replace the oil pan gasket, rear main seal, all that kind of stuff. Just kind of do a lot to it while it's down. So kind of, you know, shifted effort to I had to do, you know, the gas tank on the C10, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, do stuff to Mercedes to get it ready and driving. So kind of put all that ahead of the Suburban. But since the Suburban's down, you know, I needed to go get this parts car, and so I got it with the C10. It did well. I'll put like I said, I'll put a picture right back there of it pulling this, and did great. Pulled it just fine. I'm guessing this is with the trailer and the car, you know, between 5,000 and 6,000 pounds. So not a whole lot of weight, but still, you know, a decent load for a 305 with, I think it's got 278 gears. You know, it's geared pretty much for highway, but it did good. I drove 85 miles to get this car, so 170 mile round trip. Used a full tank of gas to do it, and it doesn't get much better gas mileage than that driving it to work. So that's why I drive the Mercedes. I put a receiver mount on my trailer, and that was a lifesaver. It is very nice, and it's going to be very handy unloading as well too. So let's get this thing unloaded now. Again, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.